Be still for a moment, my child. Heaven has paused everything to reach you. In this very hour, a silent call is crossing the distance between my heart and yours. The veil is thin right now. The noise of your life has been pushed back so that one voice can come through. Clearly mine. This is not a small window. It will not stay open long. I am asking you to give me these moments, all of them from the first word to the last. Do not turn away. What I have to say to you today carries more weight than anything you have heard in a long time. I have tried to reach you before. You know this, even if you have never said it out loud. There were small whispers you could not explain. Gentle nudges that came from nowhere, dreams that felt too real to be dreams, conversations that stayed with you for days after they ended. You have woken in the deep hours of the night, wide awake, heart pounding, certain that something was about to shift. You have stood in the middle of an ordinary day when a knowing washed over you that was anything but ordinary. You have felt a sudden stillness settle on your chest, a pull you could not name. That was not fear, that was me, reaching through the noise of your days. But you turned away every time. You called it stress, you blamed it on worry, you dismissed it as a tired mind playing tricks. And the word that carried your name, the word I had prepared for that exact moment in your life, went unheard. Hear me now. I am not recounting this to shame you. I am telling you so you understand why today is different. Today I have arranged everything so that you could not miss me. No interruption has pulled you away. No urgent matter has broken this moment. That is not an accident. I guarded this hour myself. Listen closely, because I am speaking to you. Not to a crowd, not to the many, to you. The one whose heart is beating a little faster right now. The one who feels something stirring and cannot explain it. Your spirit recognizes my voice, even when your mind is still deciding whether to believe. I come to you today carrying two words. One is a word of correction, and I will not soften it because you need to hear it whole. The other is a word of promise, greater than anything you have dared to ask me for. Both are true, both are for you, and both require that you stay with me until I have finished speaking. Yes, my tone is firm today. There is a fire in my voice that you may not be used to. Do not mistake it. A father who says nothing while his child walks toward a cliff does not love that child. I love you too much to stay quiet. My firmness is the proof of it. Something happened recently that heaven took notice of. You already know what I mean. Even as these words reach you, something in you is answering. That quiet tug you feel is not this message putting a thought into you. It is my spirit confirming what your heart has carried for days. You have been asking why your peace has felt unsettled, why your prayers have felt heavier in your mouth, why a low restlessness has followed you from morning to night. You told yourself it was nothing. It was not nothing. It was me pressing on your heart, refusing to let you drift another step without hearing from me. But understand this before anything else. I am not coming to condemn you. Condemnation crushes and leaves you in the dirt. My correction lifts. It takes you by the hand, turns you around, and sets your feet back on solid ground. There is a difference, and by the time I finish speaking, you will know that difference in your bones. There is also more here than correction. Beyond this hard word lies a door I have been holding for you. Behind it waits favor you did not earn, restoration you stopped expecting, and a peace so deep it will feel unfamiliar at first. I will tell you about all of it, but the door is reached by one road, and that road passes through the truth. So I ask you plainly, will you stay? Will you let me say the hard thing and the beautiful thing in the same hour? Many hear my voice and pull away the moment it stops flattering them, but you are still here. That tells me something about your heart that pleases me. It tells me you are not looking for comfort alone. You are looking for truth. And a heart that can receive truth is a heart I can trust with great things. That is rarer than you know. Kings have lacked it. You are showing it right now simply by staying. The hours ahead of you are not like the hours behind you. Something is moving already. While you listen, I am working pieces you cannot see are being set in place. What I began arranging long before this day is coming to its appointed time, and you are standing at the edge of it. Do not rush past this moment the way you have rushed past the others. Let it slow you down. Let it settle into the deep places where you actually live, beneath the surface where you perform for everyone else. I do not speak to the surface. I speak to the real you, the one only I fully know. So take a breath. My beloved, loosen your grip on everything you were carrying when this word found you. The tasks will wait. The worries will wait. For the next while there is only my voice in your heart, and the honest ground between them. That is where everything begins to change. I will begin with the hard word first, because truth delayed loses none of its weight, and when the hard word has done its work, the promise will mean more than it ever could have otherwise. That is how I work. First the root, then the fruit. First the turning, then the blessing. Declare your Amen out loud. If you know this word has found the right heart, now hear the hard word. You made a choice that your own heart warned you against. You crossed a line you knew was there. Heaven saw it, and heaven recorded it. I was not silent when it happened. You felt my paws pressing against your will in that moment, and you moved forward anyway. Do not rush to defend yourself. Do not reach for the excuses you have been rehearsing. I know them all already, and I know the truth beneath them. This hour is not for argument. It is for honesty, and honesty is the one thing I require of you right now. Understand what actually happened, because it did not begin where you think it began. It did not begin with your hands. It began with a thought. A thought arrived that did not carry my peace, and instead of turning it away, you gave it a room to live in. You fed it. You let it stay past the hour when you knew it should go. That small allowance grew quietly. The thought became a leaning. The leaning became a decision. The decision became an act, and that act opened a door in the unseen realm that should have stayed shut. You could not see the door, but you felt the draft come through it. That cold unsettling in your spirit that has not fully left you since. This is how it always works. No one falls all at once. They drift by small degrees, each one easy to explain away. Every quiet warning ignored makes the next one easier to ignore. Ear by ear, the hearing dulls. That is the path you had stepped onto, and that is exactly why I have interrupted you today. My anger is real, but hear what it is aimed at. It is not aimed at you, it is aimed at the path, at the thing that reached for you, at the slow ruin I could see waiting further down that road. A shepherd who sees a wolf circling does not whisper. He shouts. The sharpness in my voice today is a shepherd's shout, and it is for your protection. I want you to notice something else. I do not correct what means nothing to me. The field a farmer ignores is the field he has given up on. The one he walks, prunes and clears is the one he expects a harvest from. You are being corrected because you are valued. This firm word is the surest evidence that I have not let you go. Let me also tell you what this mistake did not do. It did not cancel your calling. It did not lower your worth by one measure. It did not make me love you less, and it did not make me look away from you. What it changed was your direction, and direction is what I have come to set right. A traveler on the wrong road is not worthless. He is simply headed somewhere. I refuse to let you go, but do not let that comfort make you careless. What you did mattered. It interrupted the flow of what I was building in your life. You felt it at once. That shift inside where peace became unsettled and clarity turned to fog. That was your spirit telling the truth, even while your mouth stayed silent. The greatest danger in front of you now is not the mistake itself. It is pride. Pride will tell you this word is for someone else. Pride will tell you it was not so serious, that everyone does it, that you can manage it on your own. Pride has led stronger souls than you into places they never return from. Do not let it speak for you today. There is a heaviness resting on you as you hear this. I know you feel it. It is not meant to crush you. It is meant to wake you. It is the weight of conviction. And conviction is a mercy. Confusion wanders in circles. But conviction points at one thing and says, here, this is the matter. Deal with this. I have made it that clear because I refuse to let you miss it. So a choice now stands in front of you, and I will name it plainly. You can humble yourself. Hear me out and let me lead you back. Or you can harden, turn away, and walk on in your own strength. I will not force you. I have never forced you. But I will tell you the truth about the second road. It leads into silence. And silence is a poor guide in the dark. The fact that you are still listening tells me which road your heart is leaning toward. That leaning matters more to me than the stumble ever did. I am not searching the earth for people who never fall. I am searching for the ones who, hearing my voice, stop mid-step and turn. You are turning right now, even if it feels small. I see it. Remember the shepherd king who fell far harder than you. He took what was not his, and he covered it. And for a season he called the covering piece. But when my word finally cornered him, he did not argue. He said 4 words, I have sinned against you. And that broken honesty opened the way for mercy that his crown never could have purchased. I am looking for those 4 words from you. Not a performance of sorrow, not endless self-punishment, just the plain truth spoken from the plain heart, with nothing hidden behind your back. That is where every restoration in the history of my people has begun, and yours will begin no differently. There is still much I need to show you. I will show you exactly how to close the door that was opened. I will show you the pattern beneath this stumble, so it never rules you again. And then, when the ground is clear, I will tell you what I have been waiting to pour into your life. Stay with me. The turning has already begun, whisper. I am listening if you receive this correction with an open heart. Now I will show you the way back, step by step, and I ask you to follow each one without skipping ahead. The road home is shorter than you fear, but it must be walked honestly, or it is not walked at all. The first step is honesty with yourself. Name what happened fully, without a single excuse attached. Do not dress it up, and do not shrink it down. What is faced in the light loses its power to hide in the shadows. What stays hidden keeps its grip. Bring it out into the open before me, all of it, and you will feel its hold begin to break the moment you do. Release the voice inside you that keeps explaining why it happened. Justification is a chain wearing the costume of a comfort. As long as you defend the thing, you remain tied to the thing. Honesty is what cuts the rope. You do not need to win an argument with me. You need only to tell me the truth. And the truth is something I already know and have already made a way through. The second step is to turn your attention back to me deliberately, not casually. Do not merely think of me in passing the way you think of the weather. Come to me on purpose. Speak to me plainly. In your own words, as you would speak to a father you trust. Then be still, and let the stillness do its slow, deep work. In that stillness, something will shift. You will feel it as surely as you felt the wrong turn. The draft from that open door will fade. The unsettled churning will quiet. That is the sound of a door closing. My hand on the latch, your heart in agreement. What was opened in a careless moment is shut in a deliberate one. And there is a third step, the one most people refuse. You must forgive yourself. Not excuse yourself, forgive yourself. There is a difference. Guilt that lingers after repentance is not devotion. It is a weight I never asked you to carry, and it binds you to a moment I have already dealt with. I am not holding this over you. Do not hold it over yourself. If I have released you, who are you to keep yourself in chains? Lift your head. The account has been settled, not by your suffering, but by my mercy. Your sorrow had its hour and did its work. Now its hour is over. From this point on, dragging the past behind you is not humility, it is unbelief. And I am asking you to lay it down. Now, before I speak of what comes next, I have one more thing to ask of you, and it concerns your trust. My child, I am asking you to place a portion of what you have, something of real weight, upon the altar of this work, as gold laid on the scales of this calling. Let it be a seed sown into deep water, an offering set on stone, not held back in fear. This is proof that your trust rests in my hand to provide, and that your heart no longer clings to lack. What you release in faith does not leave your life. It moves ahead of you into the harvest I am preparing. Think of the widow I watched at the treasury long ago. Others gave from their abundance and felt nothing. She gave 2 small coins, all she had, and heaven still speaks of her. It was never the amount that moved me. It was the open hand. An open hand is the posture of a heart that has stopped guarding itself against its own father. That same open hand is what I am forming in you now, in every part of your life. A hand that can release is a hand that can receive. This is why the correction and the promise arrive together in one word. The turning empties your hands of what was never yours to hold. The blessing fills them with what always was. Understand the difference between a mistake and a pattern, because everything ahead depends on it. A mistake is a single stumble on the road. A pattern is a road of its own. Walk so many times the feet no longer ask where they are going. What happened to you was a stumble, but I saw the pattern forming underneath it, and that is the deeper thing I am healing today. This was not the first time you felt that inner hesitation and stepped past it. You remember the other times, even now. Each one seems small, but small compromises are seeds too, and they grow in the dark just as faithfully as good seed grows in the field. I am pulling this one up while the root is still shallow. That is not harshness. That is a gardener who knows what the plant becomes. So do not merely repent of the act. Watch the doorway it came through. Notice how quickly your mind wants to move on from this word, to distract you, to change the subject, to check on something else. That restlessness is not an accident. Growth is delayed whenever distraction replaces reflection. Stay in this moment until the lesson is finished settling into you, and know this: what the careless moment opened, the deliberate one has now shut. I have closed the door. I have quieted the churning. I have lifted the sentence you were serving against yourself. You are not on trial anymore. You are in training, and there is a difference. A prisoner waits for time to pass. A son is being made ready for what is coming. From here my voice changes its work. The correction has done what it came to do. Now I begin to rebuild, and I will start with the one skill that would have spared you all of this. The skill of knowing my voice among all the others. Listen carefully. What I teach you next will guard you for the rest of your days. My voice is not hard to find. It is only easy to drown. I speak in the quiet nudge before a decision. I speak in the sudden caution that has no visible reason. I speak in the thought that arrives with calm instead of pressure. You have heard me many more times than you realize. The work now is learning to know that voice so well that no counterfeit can imitate it. Here is the first mark of my voice, and I want you to hold it for the rest of your life. My guidance carries peace, not always comfort, and not always ease, for I sometimes ask hard things, but even my hard words arrive on steady ground. When peace is present, you may move. When peace lifts, stop where you stand. Peace is not merely a feeling I give you. It is a signal I speak through. You have felt that signal before. You felt it leave in the very moment we have been speaking of. One breath earlier, there was stillness, and then there was churning, and you moved anyway. Never again treat that churning as a mood to push through. It is a watchman on the wall, and when the watchman calls out, the gates are to be shut. Not argued with, there is a second mark, my voice leads. It does not shove. The pressure that says now, quickly, before you think, before you pray, that urgency is almost never mine. I created time, and I am never late within it. When something true is from me, it survives a pause. What cannot survive a pause was counting on your haste, and anything that counts on your haste fears your clarity. So build the pause into your life, before the decision, before the answer, before the step. Be still for a moment and ask me. Not every pause needs an hour. Sometimes one honest breath is enough for the fog to lift. The mistake we have dealt with today happened in the space where that pause should have been. Guard that space from now on as you would guard a treasure, because that is what it is. Now hear me about your attention, because your attention is the gate of your whole life. Whatever you behold, you become shaped by. Whatever you feed grows, and whatever you starve weakens. There are voices and influences around you that seem harmless on the surface. Yet each one leaves a residue, and residue builds. Some of what you have allowed near you lately has been pulling you off course by slow degrees. I am not asking you to fear the world. I am asking you to keep the gate. Ask of everything that wants your attention one simple question. Does this leave me nearer to my Father or further away? You will find the answer surprisingly quick to come. You have always known what has been missing is not discernment but decision. Some things will need to be stepped away from, and I will show you which ones. Do not mourn them. This is not loss. It is pruning. And pruning is done to branches that are meant to bear more fruit, never to branches that are finished. When the vine dresser cuts, the vine does not shrink. It readies. Watch also the words you speak inside yourself when no one is listening. That inner voice has been harsher to you than any enemy, and harsher than I have ever been. It calls you a failure where I call you my child. It rehearses your worst day on an endless loop, while I have already thrown that record away. From today, when that voice speaks, answer it with what I say. Let your thoughts be renewed until they tell the truth, for that is what transformation actually is. Not effort piled on effort, but a mind slowly retrained to agree with heaven. When your thoughts align with my truth, your choices follow without strain, the way a wheel follows the road. This is why I begin inside, fix the spring, and the stream runs clean. Now a word about discipline, because the word has been soured for you, and I want to restore its taste. Discipline is not restriction. Discipline is consistency, nothing more. It is choosing the same right thing on the grey, ordinary days that you chose on the shining ones. No one drifts into steadiness. It is built one kept moment at a time, and I am building it in you now. You will not feel strong in this at first. That is expected, and it is not failure. Strength of this kind grows the way an oak grows, without noise, without any single dramatic day, yet unmovable after the years have done their work. Every time you pause and ask me, the root goes deeper. Every time you turn from the wrong voice, the trunk thickens. Do not despise slow growth. Slow growth is the kind that holds, and understand the deeper purpose beneath all this training. I am not making you cautious. I am making you clear. There are moments ahead of you, real ones, already set on the calendar of your life, when much will turn on a single decision. Doors will stand open that must be entered without hesitation. Other doors will stand open that must be refused without a second look. On those days, The skill you are learning now will be worth more than silver. This is why the correction came when it did. Not because your stumble was too great for mercy, but because the future I have prepared for you is too great for drifting. A dull blade is sharpened before the harvest, not during it. Consider today the sharpening. Already you can feel the difference if you look for it. Your thoughts have settled while my word has been washing over you. The fog you carried into this hour has thinned. That clearing is not something these words did on their own. It is what always happens when a heart turns back toward home. Alignment returns, and peace walks in behind it without being begged. Hold what you are feeling right now and do not let the day steal it. This clarity is not a visitor. It is meant to live with you. Carry it into the small choices first, the ones no one sees. And the great choices will find you ready when they come. Now I must speak of the years, because the years have been a quiet womb between us. You have questions you stopped asking out loud. You buried them under politeness in your prayers. But I heard them anyway. Why has it taken so long? Why them and not me? Why do the ones who never sought you seem to run past me while I stand still? You watched people who started long after you arrived, long before you. You clapped at their celebrations with an ache behind your smile. You spoke blessing over them with a voice that did not shake, and then you went home and sat in the quiet and wondered what was wrong with you. I saw every one of those evenings. Not one of them escaped my attention. And there were harder nights than those. Nights you wondered if you had misheard me all those years ago. Nights you turned the old promise over in your hands like a coin you could no longer spend. You thought about settling for a smaller life simply because the road to the larger one seemed to have vanished. You never said it in those words. You did not have to. So let me answer the buried questions now plainly, as a father answers a grown child. The delay was never absence. There was not one day of those years when I was elsewhere, and the delay was never rejection. You measured my silence as distance. It was nearer to the silence of a craftsman bent over his work, too intent to speak. Think of a field lying fallow through a long winter to every passing eye. It is doing nothing. It is doing some of the most important work of its life. The ground rests and mends. What was spent is replenished, and when the sowing finally comes, that quiet field outbears every acre that was never given its season of stillness. Your hidden years were not empty years. They were fallow years. And there is a difference as wide as the harvest. Think also of how a great house is built. For months there is nothing to admire. The work goes downward before it ever goes upward. Deep cuts into unseen ground. Stones set below where any guest will ever look. A passerby sees a hole and calls it failure. The builder sees a foundation and calls it wisdom. The higher the walls are meant to rise, the longer the unseen work must take. Measure your years of obscurity by that rule and read them again. And those doors that closed against you, the ones you pounded on until your hands ached, you grieved them as losses. Some of them you have grieved for years, but I was on the other side of those doors and I saw what stood behind them. Had certain ones opened, you would have walked into seasons that would have cost you far more than the waiting ever did. I did not fail to open them. I refused to. There is love in a refusal that you can only see from further down the road. As for the ones who ran past you, release them. Their road is not your road, and their harvest is not your harvest. A vine does not envy the wheat for being gathered first. Each is brought in at its own appointed time, and the later gathering is not the lesser one. Often it is the opposite. What ripens longest keeps longest. Let that settle your heart about every name that has ever made it ache. Here is what those years actually built. Since you could not see the ledger, they built a compassion in you that comfort could never have produced. You notice the overlook now because you know that seat. They built an endurance that does not snap at the first contrary wind. They built a way of trusting me with empty hands that people who were filled early never had to learn. These are not consolation prizes. These are the exact tools of the assignment ahead of you. There is one more thing the long road proved, and I want you to hear it named. You stayed bent, questioning, tired, sometimes barely, but you stayed. Do you know how rare that is? Many walked away from me over lighter disappointments than yours. You carried yours into my presence again and again and kept speaking to me from underneath it. Heaven does not overlook a faithfulness like that. It is written where nothing is ever lost. And now I am telling you what the whole matter of this day has been leading toward. The fallow season is closing, not winding down over years closing. The field has rested long enough. The foundation is cured and will hold the weight it was dug for. What I set in motion before you ever knew to ask for it is arriving at its appointed hour, and no hand in heaven or on earth is able to hold it back now. This is why the correction could not wait. This is why I interrupted you today of all days, and why my voice has carried such fire. A man may drift in the middle of a long flat road and lose little. He must not drift at the bend. You are at the bend, my child. Everything I have taught you in this hour, the honesty, the pause, the guarded gait, the steady discipline, all of it was fitted for what stands just ahead of you. I know the years have taught your heart to flinch at hope. I know you have braced yourself so many times only to stand down again. So I am not asking you to work up a feeling. I am asking for something smaller and far greater. Take my word for it against the evidence of the years on the strength of my voice alone. The way a sailor trusts the star he cannot touch. State. I trust you if you are ready to take my word over the evidence of the years. Then hear what is coming, because I do not send my children toward a horizon without telling them what to look for. The blessing I have prepared arrives in 3 streams. Listen carefully to each one, so that when they reach you, you will recognize my hand and not call it luck. The first stream is sudden favor. This is when doors begin opening that you never knocked on. You will offer a small thing expecting nothing, and it will return to you carrying a yes you had stopped waiting for. A conversation that seems ordinary will turn in a single sentence into the connection your path required. People who never noticed you will find you on their minds and not know why, but you will know why. I go ahead of my children. I speak their names in rooms they have not yet entered. I incline hearts the way a farmer turns water into a dry channel. What years of striving could not force open, one appointed moment will when it happens. Do not stand there doubting at the threshold. Recognize it. Thank me and walk through. The second stream is restoration, and this one runs deeper than you expect. Things that were taken from you are coming back, and they are not coming back as they left. They return increased the way seed returns as harvest. The seasons the devourer consumed I am repaying. That is not poetry. It is a promise with your name inside it. Even dreams you buried will stir. There is a vision you once carried that circumstances put in the ground years ago. You mourned it and moved on. But in my hands buried things have a way of turning into planted things. It is rising again, and it rises in a wiser form, fitted to who you have become, rather than who you were when you first dreamed it. Some mendings will find you too. A voice gone quiet may reach out, words you stopped expecting, an apology, a softening, an open door where there was a wall may arrive without warning. Understand the boundary of this promise. I restore what I ordain, not everything you have lost. What was taken from your life as a protection will stay gone. And one day you will thank me for that as well. But what belongs to your path will find its way home. The third stream will surprise you most because you have lived without it so long. You have forgotten its taste, deep peace. The tight band across your chest that you have carried so long, you now call it normal. The knot beneath your ribs that never fully unwinds. The thoughts that circle your bed at night like birds that will not land. I am speaking to all of it now, and I am telling you it is not your inheritance. You will notice the change in small ways first. A morning will come when you wake, and the dread that usually greets you simply is not there. A situation that once seized your whole body will pass over you like weather that no longer touches the house. You will wait for the old fear to arrive on schedule, and it will not arrive. That absence will be my presence, and that accusing voice. The one that has trailed you for years, telling you that you are too late, too flawed, too far behind. Its time is up. It will not be argued into silence. It will be crowded out, replaced by a truer voice saying what I have always said over you. You are mine. You are called. You are not behind, for no one is behind who walks in step with me. Now mark my words about the timing. I will not have you waiting vaguely the way you have had to wait before. Watch for the first evidence before this present season turns. Not your whole harvest at once. Harvests do not come that way, but the first fruit. The early sign, the unmistakable touch of my hand that tells you the weather of your life has changed. When you see it, remember this hour, and remember that I named it before it came. And when the streams begin to flow, remember what wells are for. This blessing is not sent so you can build a higher wall around a fuller house. It is sent to pass through you. There are people near you still deep in their own long winter, souls you will recognize because you have worn their shoes. Speak hope to them. Give as one who has been given to. What you pour out for my supply, I count as poured out to me, and I am no man's debtor. That is how my kingdom has always moved. Freely you received, freely give. The measure you use for others becomes the measure used for you, pressed down, shaken together, running over. You have known lack too long to hoard. Let your abundance make you generous the way your hunger once made you compassionate, and the stream will never run dry above your field. One caution, and receive it as tenderly as I speak it. When favor comes quickly, the old pattern will whisper again. It will tell you that you no longer need the pause, the stillness, the daily returning to me. Full hands drift more easily than empty ones. Israel forgot me in fat years who had clung to me through lean ones. Do not repeat their story. Keep the same nearness in harvest that you learned in famine. And this blessing will not become a snare, for the goal was never the streams. My beloved, the goal was always the fountain. Favor is a good servant and a poor guard. If ever you must choose between what fills your hands and what fills your soul, choose me, and you will find that in choosing me you have lost nothing worth keeping. That is the secret the truly blessed all carry. They hold everything lightly except my hand. Everything is now almost said. One truth remains the deepest of them all. The reason this word crossed heaven to find you today. It concerns who you are to me and what I am sending you to do. Stay with me a little longer and receive the last of it. Here is the last truth, and it is the ground beneath every other word I have spoken today. You are chosen, not favored in a vague way, not merely tolerated, not one face lost in a crowd of faces, chosen deliberately by name for a purpose that fits no other life but yours. This is why heaven interrupted your day. No one sends a message like this to someone who does not matter. Do not let the word slide past you because you have heard it cheap and elsewhere. Being chosen is not a decoration. It is an assignment. There is work on this earth with your name on it. Good work prepared in advance for you to walk in. Comfort was never the final purpose of this word. Commissioning is. Think of who I have chosen before and take courage from the pattern. A stammering fugitive to stand before a king. A shepherd boy overlooked by his own father when the prophet came to the house. A fisherman whose courage failed him in a courtyard of all people to feed my flock. I have never chosen the polished. I choose the willing, and then I do the polishing myself, often through the very corrections they thought would disqualify them. That is what today was. You thought this hour of correction proved you had fallen out of my favor. It proved the opposite. I do not sharpen tools I have set aside. I do not prune vines I have written off. The fire of my voice today was not the fire of rejection. It was the fire a refiner keeps close to the silver he intends to use. So now I set the charge before you. Walk out of this hour differently than you walked into it. Keep the honesty we built today. Let no hidden thing take root in you again. Keep the pause. Make no weighty choice without asking me first. Keep the gate of your attention. Feed only what you want to grow, and keep the open hand in giving and in receiving alike. The tests will come. I will not pretend otherwise, for I have never lied to you. There will be a day when the old thought knocks again at the old door, wearing new clothes and speaking softly. There will be a moment when urgency shouts at you to move before you have listened. These are not signs of my absence. They are the examinations that follow every true lesson, and you will pass them because you will not face them as the person you were. When those days arrive, do what you have learned. Stop, breathe, turn your heart toward me, and wait for the steadiness before you take a single step. If peace holds, walk on. If peace lifts, stand still, though the whole world calls you a fool for standing. I have never once failed the one who waited for me, and I will not begin my failures with you. And when you stumble, for even the upright stumble, do not vanish from me for weeks the way you used to. That is the old pattern, and it dies today. Come at once. Come mid-fall if you can. The door between us is not locked from my side, and it never has been. A child who runs home immediately with the truth in his mouth is dearer to me than one who hides until the shame ferments into distance. Watch too how you carry yourself among others now. The chosen do not strut, and they do not grovel. They walk with the quiet certainty of people who know whose they are. Let your speech be seasoned with the mercy you have received today. Be slow to expose what others hide, quick to cover what mercy can cover. First, to speak hope into the ones the world has counted out. You will recognize them. You were one of them yesterday. There will be those near you, the ones you carry in prayer, the ones you love, whose names you have laid before me more often than your own. I have heard every mention of them. Nothing entrusted to me is mislaid. Your task is not to be their savior, it is to be their signpost, a living answer standing where they can see it, proof in flesh and blood that the long road is worth walking. Some words are preached, the best ones are lived. Now, let me gather all of it so that nothing I have given you today falls to the ground. The wrong turn is confessed and covered. The door that was opened is shut and sealed. The pattern beneath it is named and broken. The years that shamed you have been read to you rightly as fallow ground and deep foundation, not as failure. The three streams are on their way: favor, restoration, and peace. And the first evidence comes before this season turns. Above all this, you are chosen, and the assignment is real. That is the whole word. What remains is the living of it. And the living begins the moment my voice falls silent. In the first small choice you make, in the first pause you keep, in the first honest sentence you speak to me tonight in your own words. Begin there, begin small. I will meet you in it, as I have met you here, and should the dark ever try to tell you this hour never happened, that it was only imagination, you will know what to answer. Remember how your heart burned within you while these words were spoken. That burning was recognition. Sheep know the shepherd's voice, and you knew mine today, from the first sentence to this one. So rise now, my precious child. Lift your head, square your shoulders, and step back into your life as one sent, not as one merely dismissed. I am before you to lead, behind you to guard, and within you to make you able. No day of what is coming will you walk alone, not one. I have spoken, and my word does not return to me empty. It accomplishes what I send it to do. Today I sent it to find you, to turn you, and to set you on your feet facing the right horizon. It has done so. Go and walk it out with me, step by step, from this hour into all the hours I have prepared. Say, I receive it. If you are ready to rise and walk with me into everything I have prepared for you, God bless you.